Illinois Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi is speaking out about why he co-authored the TikTok bill that the president signed. In an MSNBC op-ed, the congressman explains that while he enjoys TikTok videos, the U.S. is drawing a hard line against China using social media to control and potentially manipulate U.S. data. Congressman Krishnamoorthi joins us right now. He is, of course, the ranking member of the Select Committee on China. And, sir, thank you for being here. Why don't you say what you're concerned about, what you think the risks are, and what you think's happening right now as to why you went ahead with this legislation?
Well, thanks for having me. I think there are two types of threats that we are concerned about with TikTok. One is that its owner, ByteDance, which is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, has access to 170 million Americans' user data. And then secondly, that ByteDance, at the behest of the CCP, is controlling the algorithm and distorting content on the platform. After a lot of lobbying against the bill by ByteDance and TikTok and the CCP, members of both parties came together, passed this bill, and it got signed into law on Wednesday. And now I'm hoping that ByteDance sells the platform so that it can continue to operate in the U.S.
I mean, there's so many things that have happened since. It doesn't seem very likely that they will do an outright sale. There have been reports that have floated that suggest if they did sell it, they'd sell it without the algorithm, and that would certainly raise questions about what exactly it is, other than a user list of 170 million Americans. I do have one question. You said you enjoy TikTok videos. Do you have it on your phone? And if you do, why, if you're concerned about security issues?
I don't have it on my phone. I don't have it on our government devices on which it's banned for everybody in Congress and the federal government. But I enjoy watching them on YouTube or what have you. Our quarrel is not with the platform or the types of videos or the businesses that are advertising on TikTok. Our problem is with the control by the CCP of that platform, and that's a unique concern, and that's why this legislation passed with such a huge margin.
You are concerned about the control they have or they could potentially have?
Both.
I mean, I just wonder, you know things that we don't. You probably have security clearance. You think this is happening right now?
Yes. And not only that, but the TikTok CEO has come to Capitol Hill repeatedly and testified before Congress, and he's made multiple misrepresentations about TikTok, its relation to ByteDance and to the CCP. I'll just give you two. One is that he said that American user data is not accessible to people in China, and that turned out to be false. It's regularly accessed by people in China, even unbeknownst to employees of TikTok USA. And then the second misrepresentation is that he said that none of this American user data has ever been used against Americans, and that was flat out false. We know in a well-publicized example, and actually ByteDance conceded this was true, that they used American user data against journalists to surveil them. These journalists had basically been covering TikTok, and in ByteDance's view, had been providing unfavorable coverage.
Congressman, let me ask you a separate question. One of the other authors of this bill is Congressman Michael McCaul. And there are reports that he bought $150,000 worth of Meta shares just about 2 weeks after this bill. What do you make of that?
I have no idea, but that's why I have called for banning the trading of stocks. I and a bipartisan group of legislators have done so. I think that we should never have individual trading of individual securities because it raises questions like the one you just had.
And just going back to Becky's question, I don't know if you can put any color on it. I know she was trying to, I know given the security clearance issues, and I know you said you don't think that they're telling you the truth, but can you give us either some detail, some explanation of something you think that the Chinese government is doing currently that you believe is genuinely nefarious and threatens our security, as opposed to something prospectively, which is to say that, yes, it's very possible, I think, in the future, given the size and scale, that, you know, if the Chinese government decided to do something, maybe they could. I don't know. And I know that's something that TikTok CEO says couldn't happen, but something that's happening today, right now. besides
Sure.
the reporter piece? And I'm not discounting that. I'm just when you talk about a genuine national security threat.
Sure. I'll mention three things. I'm not going to get into classified information. I'll just talk about published reports. Published reports show that the CCP actually used user data of Hong Kong protesters to go after them following the Hong Kong protests. That's why numerous human rights groups came out in support of this legislation, including Hong Kongers, Tibetans,
What happened in
Uyghurs.
Hong Kong? What happened in the United States? I'm not defending the company. I'm trying to just understand.
Sure. Secondly, what we know is that in the run-up to the 2022 Party Congress in China, basically the CCP inspected the back end of the user data, including Americans. Third, American user data is stored in China, including sensitive financial information. Again, that is not something that was conceded.
The reason
Last, I'll just mention.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm
sir.
asking you a question about them using either the data or their scale in some kind of genuinely nefarious way today. An example of something, not that they've collected the data. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I will agree that we've been told that they're not storing that information there. If they are, I think it's open to anything the Chinese government wants to do with it.
Can I just point out something? David Leonhardt in the New York Times on April 24th put out an article that basically illustrated how the content in the U.S. is distorted in a way that's favorable to the CCP. Hashtags, for instance, with regard to pro-Hamas.
Right, those are based on
those affect Americans. You concede that.
That some people disagree about how hashtags even work. Frankly, on a relative basis to Instagram and other things. I'm asking you whether you are aware of something where not just they collected the data, where they used the information in a nefarious way, where there's actual reporting, not from an outside study who looked at different things and decided what they thought, what you actually know, given again the security clearance that you have.
Yes, I can't get into it, but can I just point out one other thing? Chris Wray, our FBI's director, basically said this particular concern screams out with national security concerns. It's like a gun pointed at our head.
And while you might want that,
I don't want to wait for that trigger to be pulled. We don't want that gun to be pulled in order for us to understand that there's a national security threat here.